All right, let's dive into one of the most important processes in all of biology, cellular respiration. If you're getting ready for your GCSEs, we're going to break down everything you absolutely need to know. So let's start with a really basic question. Why do we bother eating and breathing? I mean, really think about it. The answer gets right to the heart of why respiration is so critical for, well, every living thing. To get to the bottom of that, we have to talk about energy. See, food and air are just the raw ingredients. The magic, the thing that actually unlocks the energy we need to live, that all happens deep inside ourselves. Okay, first things first, and this is a big one. Respiration is not breathing. Breathing is just getting the air in and out. Respiration is the actual chemical reaction that happens inside your cells. It's called an exothermic reaction, which is just a fancy way of saying it releases energy. Kind of like a tiny furnace firing away in every single cell of your body all the time. And what are we using all this energy for? Well, everything. It's not just for running a race, it's for all the chemical reactions that build new bits of you. It's for every single muscle movement, and it's even what keeps your body at a nice, steady temperature. It literally powers life itself. Okay, so let's get into the body's go-to method for getting this energy. Think of this as the main engine, the one that's humming along almost all the time. This is called aerobic respiration, and that word aerobic is the key here. It literally means with oxygen. Just like a car engine, it needs a steady supply of fuel, in this case, glucose from your food, and oxygen to run as efficiently as possible. And here it is, the master formula for aerobic respiration. You absolutely have to know this for your exams. On the left, you've got your reactants, glucose and oxygen. They go in. Then the reaction happens, and out come the products on the right. Carbon dioxide, water, and most importantly, a whole lot of energy. But what happens when that main engine can't get enough oxygen? You know, like when you're in the middle of some really intense exercise. Well, your body has a pretty clever backup plan. Let's just picture it for a second. You're sprinting as fast as you can. Your heart is pounding, you're gasping for air, but your muscles are just screaming for more energy than your body can deliver oxygen for. What happens then? Your body switches to anaerobic respiration. That little prefix "an" means without. So this is respiration without oxygen. The catch? It's an incomplete breakdown of glucose, which means you get way less energy out of it. It's like an emergency backup generator. It'll keep the lights on, but it's not as powerful and it comes with a price. And what's really interesting is that the process looks a bit different depending on who's doing it. In our muscles, glucose gets turned into lactic acid, and that's the stuff that makes your muscles burn and feel tired. But in things like yeast and plants, you get ethanol and carbon dioxide instead. Now, that process in yeast has its own special name, fermentation, and it's a huge deal for us humans. The carbon dioxide is what makes bread dough rise, and the ethanol, well, that's how we make beer and wine. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, let's put these two side by side. This is a classic exam topic, so it's a great one to remember. Aerobic needs oxygen, completely smashes glucose apart, and gives you a massive energy payout. Anaerobic, no oxygen needed, only partially breaks down glucose and gives you way less energy plus some different byproducts. So let's take all this theory and apply it to something we can all relate to, exercise. This is where you can really see both types of respiration kicking in. The second you start moving, your body kicks into gear, right? Your heart starts beating faster and you start breathing more quickly and more deeply. Why? It's your body's way of trying to rush more oxygen to your muscles so they can keep that aerobic respiration engine firing on all cylinders. But when you're really pushing it, you hit a wall. Your muscles need more oxygen than your heart and lungs can supply, so they have to switch to anaerobic respiration. That leads to a buildup of lactic acid, which is what makes your muscles feel fatigued and stop working so well. This whole process creates what's called an oxygen debt. You know that feeling when you finally stop sprinting, but you're still panting, trying to catch your breath? That's your body repaying its oxygen debt. You need all that extra oxygen to break down the lactic acid that's built up, getting your muscles back to normal. All right, for our last section, let's zoom all the way out. Respiration isn't just happening on its own. It's a key player in a much, much bigger picture called metabolism. So what even is metabolism? Well, it's basically the grand total of every single chemical reaction happening inside your body that keeps you alive. It's the building up reactions and the breaking down reactions, the whole shebang. And here is where it all clicks together. Respiration is the power plant for your entire metabolism. The energy it transfers is what fuels all those other reactions. Without the energy from respiration, none of it could happen. It's that fundamental. And just look at what this energy actually does. It's used to store glucose for later, to build fats, and to piece together the amino acids that make up the proteins that build, well, you. It's literally building you from the ground up, molecule by molecule. So, if there's one thing you take away today, let it be this. Respiration isn't just about breathing. It's the absolute fundamental energy transfer that powers every single process in every single living cell. It is the engine of life. And that kind of leaves us with one final thought. This process is so universal, so essential to every living thing. So, what happens when that process gets disrupted? What are the consequences? For just one tiny cell? Or for an entire ecosystem when this vital energy supply is cut off? Definitely something to think about.